Yeah. So, yeah, the theme for this week, actually, I might put on noise cancellation, but I guess I can do that later. Okay, so the theme for this week that I'm finding to be what's coming up for me this week, because every week is different, as we all know, in human life, the theme is to just enjoy life. And it sounds simple enough, but I think that especially living in a capitalistic society, we are constantly being pushed to do more. And that's kind of where this comes from. Because while we're constantly being pushed to do more, how often are we actually enjoying the things we're doing? Not much. I find myself in this cycle where I'm spending hours upon hours just working. And these are all things that I want to work towards. I enjoy my job. I enjoy making videos like this on YouTube and other places. But when am I enjoying my life? Or when does it become more pressurized in a way that it turns it to be kind of a chore? When does it become a moment where I stop enjoying my life? I think there needs to be a balance there. And I think that it's really hard to achieve that in America because there's always these pressures coming down on us. And so the other day, what really changed this perspective for me was I went to a book signing. This guy, Jeff Krosno, I forget his last name. He wrote a book called Good Stress, and it's all about things you should be doing that are stressful to the body, that are more aligned with how we used to live as cavemen. So these are things like cold plunges, not eating every single day or not eating 3 meals a day. Heat therapy, walking barefoot, walking outside, things that we don't typically do anymore. And the purpose of these tasks is to stress the body out. And in doing so, we bring ourselves back to this caveman mentality, living like a caveman. And so what I decided to do after going to that book signing was I decided to jump in the ocean. And it was very cold. And I got out and I decided to just let myself air dry, because that's part of the cold therapy. You don't want to just warm up immediately. The goal is to stay cold for a while. It triggers something deep within the brain and in the body. Has a lot to do with dopamine up intake. I don't actually know all the science behind it, but I know it has a lot to do with dopamine. I know it has a lot to do with science. Science. And I was sitting there in the sand, freezing cold enough where I was shivering, and I just had this feeling that everything was going to be okay. And that I need to enjoy my life more. Because while I'm working on all these tasks, if I'm not taking time to enjoy my life, what's the point? Like, actually. And I know that there might be someone out there who's going to be like, screw that, I'm just going to keep working hard. But there's 2 problems with that. One, you could work as hard as possible, but you could become diluted in your work. It's not about working hard, it's about working smart. In order to do that, you need to take breaks. You need to give yourself time to think and space to think. And you need to give yourself time to acclimate to the decisions that you're making. Because otherwise, you're just kind of tripping over your own feet. It's like you're running so fast that you're falling into yourself. But secondly, and most importantly, we could die tomorrow. I mean, you could die tomorrow. And I hate to say that because it's scary and people don't like to talk about that. But if you're not spending time actively enjoying your life, what was all of that for? I mean, really, what's all of this hard work for anyway? I know we all have goals. I know we all want to achieve things. I know we all want to do things like own a house or have a family or find a partner. But you could die tomorrow. So it's kind of like this thought process of, if I continue to work so hard that I'm not enjoying my life and I die tomorrow, then what's the point of working so hard? So it's finding that balance. And that's what kind of came up for me this week. And so basically what I'm working on doing now is just enjoying every single moment. Every moment of my life I'm trying to enjoy. If I'm washing the dishes, I'm going to enjoy that. If I'm, talking with my mom, I'm not going to try and get off the phone because I have more work to do. I'm going to enjoy that. Of course, I'm going to set boundaries. Of course, I'm going to do things that are healthy for me. And of course, I'm going to do things that are healthy for my career. But that doesn't mean that I can't enjoy the process. And meditation is going to be helpful for that. Using mindfulness to be aware of your thoughts, using mindfulness to be present is going to be huge for that. They say that the Buddha actually was meditating 24/7. Even when he was sleeping, he wasn't going into full deep sleep because he was still meditating. So in order for us to practice as good Buddhists, our goal is to be mindful at all times, to be present in the moment at all times with what we're doing. And so having a consistent meditation practice is going to align us with that goal. It's going to allow us to achieve that goal more effectively. And then in the process, we can be totally present with all of these things that we're doing, with all of these tasks and all of this enjoyment. And I think that's what really life is about. It's about giving moments purpose right here, right now. And we do that first by being mindful. So anyway, that's the video for today, guys. For this week, that's what this week is about. Just enjoying life already. Fuck. And you do that by giving your time and being present to the things that matter most, recognizing that every moment is to be enjoyed, and finally, to always trust in yourself that things are going to work out, because that fear can really take over you. So anyway, I'll see you guys on the flip. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I hate saying that. I'm not even going to say that. Forget I said that. But check out the most recent video, which is here. I don't even know what it's about. Bye.